Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Triomphe Indoor-Outdoor Small Sconce. This is the 30-2030. There are two other sizes larger than this. Check them out too. Watch the videos on those as well. This is going to be the smallest one. This is coming in at 16 inches from the bottom to the very top, 6.3 inches wide. Projection, that's going to be the distance from the wall coming out this way, is coming in only 3.2. That makes this ADA compliant, and that means it's Americans with Disabilities Act, which says that a sconce can only come out up to 4 inches, and this is well below that. So you can use this in lots of places. If you guys are doing hospitality like restaurants and hotels and apartment buildings, this is going to be perfect. If you want to put this in a place where you're very leery about people getting by a sconce, like in a hallway, perfect for that too. All really good. Let's get into some other little details. So this is what it looks like on the inside before you get to the back plate part of this, and you can see the wires are coming out from the bottom, but there's quite a bit of wire here, so this could kind of get through quite a bit of this as well. The back plate on this is 16 by 6.3, and here's the back plate. It's the center mount, so it goes just right there. So your wires are going to exit here going onto your junction box, and it just fits on the standard J box. There's nothing special about it. Mounting height's 8 inches from the bottom of this, or bottom of the fixture, to the hole right in the middle, which is going to be that center mount we talked about just a second ago. So glass on this is going to be offered in two ways. So you're going to have this piece of opal glass, which I'll talk about a lot more later. Opal is a opaque glass, so you're not going to be able to see anything going on inside of this. The other option is going to be seated clear, which is going to be a clear glass, and you will be able to see the bulb. It'll be pretty visible, so you just want to find a bulb that is aesthetically pleasing to you. As far as what you can put into it, you can put into this up to a 60-watt incandescent. So it's going to be using what's called a chandelier socket, and those are the smaller sockets we grew up with. It's just a very simple fixture. You just screw it in, nothing too fancy. And like I said, you can go up to 60 watts for an incandescent bulb. This is a flame tip, which could look interesting inside the clear glass because you want to find something pretty. Flame tips tend to be prettier than torpedoes, just so you know. But easy bulb to get. I can get them at my local hardware store. I can get these at my grocery store in LEDs. And as far as the LED part of this goes, it's really up to you. If you could find this, this is probably a 60-watt equivalent LED. I've found these out in the world, maybe a 75-watt equivalent. I've rarely found them a 100-watt equivalent, but I'm sure they exist out there someplace. But again, how much light do you really need coming out of this? 60-watt equivalent LED is quite a bit. The bulb I have here is made by Greenlight, and I think it came out of a local hardware store. This is a 4-watt bulb, so it uses very little electricity, and it says it's a 40-watt equivalent, and it's a soft white. That leads me into the color coming out of these bulbs that we talk about all the time in all of these videos. They're going to be offered to you as LEDs in lots of different ways. 2700 Kelvin is going to be super yellow, kind of an orange light. Way on the other side of that, excuse me, is going to be something called daylight. Daylight is a cooler light. So that's that bluish white light that you see on an overcast day or like in a convenience store, that kind of thing. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. In the middle of that is what we like to use in our showroom, and that is called warm white. Warm white is the nice light coming down on my hands right now. These are 3,000 Kelvin warm white, soft white, depends on who's making the bulb, what they call it, LEDs, and that's just what we like to use. It's also a dimmable fixture, so if you guys are going to be putting this like in a, let's say, a screened-in porch, and you're going to be sitting out drinking wine late at night with your friends or coffee, that's something you might want to look at. You know, buying a dimmable version of this light, a bulb, because the fixture itself is dimmable without any problems at all. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear. Then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world at Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.